Welcome to Trinity.
Sheriff, my name is Henry Broadway.
That would make your father Isaac Broadway. Let me give you a bit of advice.
The Unholy Trinity movie is being discussed as a dark, intense, and morally complex cinematic experience that blends elements of crime, mystery, and psychological drama into a single, gripping narrative. The film is envisioned as a slow-burning story driven by secrets, betrayal, and the consequences of past actions, rather than fast-paced spectacle. From the updates surrounding the project, it is clear that the movie aims to explore how loyalty, greed, and vengeance can collide in devastating ways. The tone is serious, gritty, and emotionally charged, setting it apart as a story that focuses on character and atmosphere as much as plot. At its core, The Unholy Trinity is presented as a story about three powerful forces bound together by blood, crime, and unresolved history. The title reflects not only the trio of central characters, but also the themes of sin, punishment, and moral corruption that run throughout the film. The movie is set in a harsh, unforgiving environment where the past refuses to stay buried and every decision carries lasting consequences. The world of the film feels grounded and realistic, with a constant sense of tension hanging over every scene. Casting updates suggest a carefully selected ensemble designed to bring depth and authenticity to the story. The central character is portrayed by an actor known for intense, layered performances, someone capable of conveying strength, guilt, and inner conflict with subtlety. This character is defined by a troubled past and a desire to escape it, only to be pulled back into chaos by forces beyond his control. His performance is described as restrained yet powerful, relying on quiet moments as much as dramatic confrontations. The supporting cast includes two equally compelling figures who complete the Unholy Trinity. One is portrayed as a calculating and ruthless individual driven by ambition and revenge, while the other is more unpredictable, shaped by trauma and survival instincts. Together, these three characters form a volatile dynamic where trust is fragile and betrayal always feels imminent. Their interactions are said to be one of the film's strongest elements, filled with unspoken tension, sharp dialogue, and emotional undercurrents that suggest long-standing resentment. Additional cast members play lawmen, criminals, and townspeople caught in the crossfire of the trio's conflict. These characters are not simply background figures, but reflections of the world the protagonists inhabit. Some represent order and justice, others embody corruption and moral compromise. Their presence reinforces the idea that no one in this story is entirely innocent, and that every character is shaped by the same harsh environment. The plot begins with the return of the central character to a place he once fled, drawn back by unfinished business and a legacy he cannot escape. The town he returns to is marked by decay, silence, and suspicion where memories linger like ghosts. Old alliances resurface and long-buried secrets begin to unravel. From the start, the movie establishes a sense of inevitability, suggesting that the past will demand a reckoning. As the story unfolds, the connections between the three main characters are gradually revealed. Their shared history involves crime, loss, and choices that destroyed lives and shaped their futures. The film takes its time exposing these relationships, using fragmented memories and tense conversations rather than exposition. Each revelation adds another layer to the conflict, making it clear that reconciliation may be impossible. Midway through the movie, the narrative shifts as external pressure increases. Law enforcement closes in, rival criminals sense weakness, and the town itself becomes a hostile space. The trio is forced into uneasy alliances, knowing that trust may be their greatest weakness. This section of the film emphasizes paranoia and psychological tension, with characters constantly questioning each other's motives. The movie also explores themes of faith, sin, and redemption in subtle but powerful ways. Religious symbolism is woven into the visuals and dialogue, not to preach, but to underline the moral weight of the characters' actions. The idea of salvation is presented as something elusive, perhaps even unattainable for people who have crossed too many lines. This thematic depth gives the story a haunting quality that lingers beneath the surface. As conflicts escalate, violence becomes unavoidable, but it is portrayed as sudden, brutal, and consequential rather than glamorous. Every act of aggression pushes the characters further down a path they cannot return from. The film emphasizes the emotional aftermath of violence, showing how guilt, fear, and regret consume those involved. These moments reinforce the idea that the true cost of crime is paid long after the act itself. The latter part of the movie focuses on confrontation and collapse. Alliances break, secrets are exposed, and the fragile balance holding the trio together finally shatters. Each character is forced to face the truth about who they are and what they are willing to sacrifice. The tension builds steadily toward an inevitable clash, driven more by emotion and history than by external threats. The climax of the Unholy Trinity is imagined as intense and emotionally devastating rather than explosive. The final confrontation is rooted in personal betrayal and moral reckoning, where words cut as deeply as weapons. The outcome is shaped not by strength or strategy alone, but by the weight of past decisions. The film avoids simple resolutions, choosing instead to confront the audience with the consequences of actions taken long ago. The ending is described as somber and reflective, leaving viewers with unanswered questions rather than clear closure. Justice, redemption, and punishment are left open to interpretation, allowing the audience to decide what each character truly deserved. The final moments emphasize silence and stillness, reinforcing the sense that some wounds never heal and some debts can never be repaid. Release date discussions suggest that the film is being positioned as a serious, adult-oriented drama rather than mainstream entertainment. The timing appears chosen to attract audiences who appreciate character-driven stories and morally complex narratives. There's confidence that the movie's strong performances and thematic depth will allow it to stand out without relying on excessive promotion. Trailer information has generated interest due to its restrained and atmospheric approach. Early previews are described as focusing on mood and character rather than plot. Slow camera movements, tense stares, and brief flashes of violence are paired with minimal dialogue and haunting music. The trailer avoids revealing key twists, instead emphasizing themes of betrayal, guilt, and impending confrontation. Visually, the Unholy Trinity is expected to feature a muted color palette that reflects its bleak world. Dusty landscapes, shadow-filled interiors, and stark lighting create a sense of isolation and moral decay. Cinematography focuses on close-ups and deliberate framing, allowing performances to carry emotional weight. The overall visual style supports the story's somber tone and psychological intensity. Overall, the Unholy Trinity movie is shaping up to be a powerful and unsettling exploration of loyalty, sin, and consequence. The imagined updates and news surrounding the project paint it as a film that values depth over spectacle and emotion over excess. By focusing on flawed characters bound together by a shared past, the movie aims to deliver a story that is tense, thought-provoking, and emotionally resonant. If executed as envisioned, the Unholy Trinity has the potential to stand as a memorable and haunting piece of cinema that stays with audiences long after the final scene fades to black.